G'day legends, just going to go through our front and rear Troopy mudguard installation. So when you receive the package of your mudguards, they'll come out and they'll look like this. You've got your rear mudguards here, so all those components are for the rear mudguards, and then these components here are for the front mudguards. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and first install the rear mudguards. So this bracket here will mount up through the hole behind the rear tyre. So there's a little locating plate on the back of this, and that will go inside that hole, and then it should sit flush on the chassis and inside there. What we'll do is we're going to mount the rubber to this beforehand and then bolt this on. So you'll notice on the mudguard that there's a series of holes. We've done this so that you can offset the rubber if you've got offset rims or a diff correction, which brings out your tyre further. So we're going to go ahead and bolt this up, and we're going to use the inside holes. Alright, so there we have it. We've bolted up the passenger side rear mudguard. If you are going to use power tools, just make sure you use something like anti-seize so that the bolts don't bind up. Okay, so to pair up with the mudguard, what we have is another plate which goes on the back side of the chassis. So the bolt goes through from that side. The chassis will be in here. This plate goes in the other side. And then we have a nylock nut. So let's get it installed. So we've put the mudguard loosely on the chassis. We're going to go underneath now and put the plate on the back side and the nut. What we have is two 17mm spanners and a 17mm socket. So we have the passenger side mudguard ready to go. I've got a Sharpie with me as well. So on the passenger side, we're going to come across the exhaust. So there's a whole load of different exhausts that people have. So we just leave this so that you can cut it to suit your own exhaust. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this into position, and we're going to mark where the exhaust is and then cut it out. So if you can find something that is about the right size and shape, we use that as our template for our first cut. Alright, so we've marked a cutout here. Now you could use something like a Stanley knife. We're going to use a little buzz saw to cut out the rubber. Alright, so there we go, got a full finger around that. So this is a 3.5 inch exhaust, so it's pretty big, but yeah, that's looking good. Alright guys, so we're going to install the front mudguard brackets. So you'll find this bracket here. Inside the wheel arch, there's a plug down here to remove, and this bolt up here to take out, and then this will bolt directly on there like that. So before installing, we're just going to remove the front section, and we'll take out this bolt too. We're going to use a little dab of Loctite as well, and we're going to install this guy. Goes up in the top hole. and the bottom has the 20mm bolt, washer on the rear, and the nylock. Alrighty guys, so we have secured the bottom here, secured the top, so this bracket is solid. There's a bolt here, depending on what flares you have, nearly every single time it's different. So for this one we've put a hole here, and that's where our logo mount goes. So we're going to mount the rubber on here and pin it back with our logo mount. Yep. Alright, so we've installed the inner bracket there. You can see there's a bend here, so that kicks the mudguard back, keeps it away from the tyre. So we have our logo bracket here. We will just put a little bit of Loctite on this, and we're going to bolt that up through in this hole here, and that's going to pull the mudguard true. So there we are, that's the logo plate installed. So the logo is vertical and facing outward, and that pushes this corner back. Now there's a few variations in flares here which also might get in the way. If you need to, you can put a little screw through like this screw and pin the top of that as well, but otherwise this position here clears the tyre. If you do have offset and a couple of inches of lift, you may need to just watch, because sometimes the tyres can get really close to here, and things like radius arms or the correct front end setup will make sure that you have the appropriate clearance. Alright, there you go guys, front and rear mudguards installed. In the near future as well, we're going to be working on a chain setup for the rear guards especially. We'll have one for the front as well, which will pin this onto your rear bar. We've got a bolt here on our rear bar, so we'll make it to suit that, and then people can adjust it to suit their setup. That will be to hold it here, and we'll also have it so that you can pin it up so that it's completely out of the way for any hardcore off-roading.